What's up, guys? Welcome to the Speaking of the Devil podcast. Today, my first visual guest. We have my co-president for media, Cheyra-Torres.
Hello, thank you. We were supposed to get Danny DeVito, but he couldn't come today, so they picked me.
Had to film It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so, we'll get him on next time.
Busy life.
We'll get him on next time. But,
Cheyra, anyway, thank you, Eric.
Of course. How have you been, Cheyra?
Well, last week I was knocked out because I got very sick, but I feel a lot better. So I'm here now. Good. Thank you.
Oh, well, glad you're doing better. Glad you were able to make the podcast.
Thank you.
One question I'd like to ask all my guests. Well, I've only had one guest, but in the future that I would like to ask all my guests is, so obviously we're doing this podcast virtually because COVID.
Yeah.
And we're about to hit 1 year of stay at home. So how have you managed through this entire year to stay sane? Or have you even stayed sane this entire year?
Bold of you to assume I've been sane this whole time, buddy. Well, I guess for me it was a mixture of a few weeks of being like, first 3 weeks being like, oh yay, spring break, we're about to go back. It's not that bad. Yeah, no. So it's just... But yeah, I think it's been a mix of weeks of not knowing what to do. Mm-hmm. Just extreme levels of boredom. I remember at some points I would legit just lay down on the floor in my living room, just staring into the ceiling, being like, I don't know what to do with my life.
I've had a lot of those days as well. Like, even recently, I've had a couple of days where I'm just out of YouTube videos to watch and I have no motivation to do anything. So I'm like, alright, what do I do? I gotta just lay in my bed. And one thing I've gotten into...
Trying to stare at the ceiling.
Just stare at the ceiling. One thing I got into recently is because I don't want to be laying on my bed all day. So sometimes I just go on my floor and just start stretching. Because
that's good.
Yeah, because I feel, especially with baseball season coming up, which I'll be talking about. Why am I lagging on my own screen? So something I've been doing is...
the stretching.
Stretching, yeah. Oh. Now that we're back. So I would get on my floor and I'll start stretching because baseball is coming up soon. And like I said, we'll get into that a bit later because that's a question I'm going to ask. And I feel myself, like, I'm so stiff right now. I'm not very elusive. Shoot. And I have tryouts in, 10 days, so...
shoot.
Yeah, I need to start. I need to start getting loose out here.
Yeah, you got this though. The fact that you even started is pretty good.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting last day, oh frick, my legs gotta stretch real good, and
I don't want to show up the first day and be so stiff. But. Rolling over to, I talked about sports being in baseball. You have a history of being in sports.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in COVID times. And there are many people who may not return to their sport. Are you planning on doing any sports this last quarter of the semester?
Well, to be honest, I kind of was reconsidering it. Mainly cross country or swim, because it's been I think almost 2 years since I've been in a sport because of a whole depression, that whole stuff, whatever. Yeah, so I wanted to get back into it, but then I got really sick, and then now that I'm better, I'm still gonna go out for runs and stuff like that, but I don't think sports school wise.
So just going out, staying active is the plan, not any sports regarding with Sweetwater.
Yeah, I want to be hella buff and hella fast. Let's go.
Because that's a legitimate thing that's happening. There's not going to be as much player turnout from previous seasons because COVID, whether it's the student themselves or it's their parents that are concerned, no, you can't go out and get COVID just to play sports. And
yeah,
And I can see, even though there was a big protest for parents to a parent protest to bring sports back, there's still a majority of other parents that just aren't letting their kids out to do anything, even with which will be our next topic, even with schools coming back to in-person session, their parents are still concerned about, COVID lingering around. So what I don't want to ask for your parents' insight or I'll probably tail it towards you. What's your thoughts and opinions on those parents who aren't letting their children go back into in-person learning or to sports?
Well, I think like all things, it kind of varies from person to person because each person has their own reason. But from what I see, I think it's kind of justified. Because, like, not gonna lie, if we all go back to school, like, our school isn't the cleanest, is like what I'm trying to say. Like, even the top richest schools in the end had to, like, go back or something because, some kids still got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that, like, we have to sanitize our own school and we don't have that much funding, I don't know, man. It's just, like, doesn't seem like it'll really work out. Even going to, like, places that you think are safe, it's not fully 100%. Yeah. It's like the thing I got sick with, like, I tested positive for COVID.
Oh,
that's
did
why
you?
I've been out for, like, the whole last week.
Oh, did you actually
Yeah.
test positive?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a laughing matter, but it just caught me off guard because
it's just
like everyone knew because I have you for pure mediation and then social issues and film, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a bit of lag right there, but
was everyone like, oh my god, they died?
No, it's just Mr. Garcia was concerned about you and also Miss Elam. But the most we knew is like, oh, you're sick.
Oh, okay.
You were out. But just to drop it drop it on me like that, like I tested positive for COVID. Like, I'm just in shock because well, that just sparks another.
Sorry, they'll just like.
Yeah, you just dropped it on me, but that actually sparks more to ask you because obviously there's tests and studies that when it comes to children getting COVID, they're usually asymptomatic. They're usually just carriers, and they don't really feel the effects of COVID unless you have underlying conditions. So obviously you don't have to tell me, but do you have underlying conditions?
I'm trying to
like
think.
Asthma
From
or
what I know, personally I have no idea, but I do have like relatives that have that.
Oh, okay.
Plus, like, I talked to Garcia after about this, and you were there too. It was during peer mediation about how like all my hormones have been like, ooh, you know? Like, that's what I'm getting checked out for, so maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
So my most worry is, like, it's either something really is really bad, or it's just me, like, second stage puberty growth spurt, which I'm hoping, because, like, I want to get taller.
Like I said, this is interesting, because you're the first person in my group age that I know of that tested positive for COVID. So
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah. Because
first for everything.
There's always a first for everything. But did you feel, obviously you said that you were feeling a bit ill, but was it, to what extent did feeling ill feel like, if you understand that question? Like, how bad did you feel while you were sick?
Okay, so it kind of hit me really hard all of a sudden, because, like, it was Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
I was just chilling, right? And my dad was also sick, so he was on the couch, you know, just being sick, just laying down, sleeping. And I was like, poor dad, And all of a sudden, I just get like a really massive migraine, and my nose gets really stuffy, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm sick too, because like at that point, we hadn't taken a test, so we all just assumed, oh, he just has like a cold or something, because he's a construction worker.
Oh, okay.
So he's out a lot. So yeah, at that, my mom was like, okay, guys, you gotta take a COVID test, because she had also gotten COVID.
Oh, okay.
I think like our first semester. That's why I was also kind of absent a little bit. I had to take over, cook stuff,
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh yeah, so we took a test. That was Monday. Yeah, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday we got the thing, and it was so weird. Like I was chilling, just resting. I tried playing some Minecraft to distract my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you just see my mom walking. I'll reenact if you want.
Oh, if you would like to.
She just goes like this. She's like, Tienes COVID. She just walks away. I'm like, what?
She just dropped it on you like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh my god.
And
she didn't even like sit you down or anything, and she's like, you have COVID. She just
she's like
peeked in through the door and said, Tienes COVID. I'm like,
what? Yeah, and it was like, you're positive. I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, playing, so I was just like, ¿qué?
Like,
and she didn't respond because she had left. Yeah, I was like, what do you mean I'm oh yeah, I took the test.
Obviously, just to clear it up, we're not laughing at the fact that Cheyra
oh yeah, COVID. We're not laughing.
We're just laughing at the fact that her mom just dropped it on her like that. Like
the situations where it's yeah, the randomness, the suddenness. I was just vibing, and I get that.
I guess that leads to another question. How? Because you said that you've been feeling sick since Sunday night, and we're recording this on Thursday. So are you feeling better? Are you feeling fine? 100%? How are you feeling right now?
Well, this is my second week. Mm-hmm. So the night I felt sick was last Sunday.
Oh, the Sunday
a week
before.
ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm feeling pretty good. Just that sometimes my nose does get really like clogged up. And sometimes when I lay down, I struggle to breathe.
Okay.
So for that, I have to like stand up and be like, I guess I won't sleep tonight or stuff like that. Yeah, but so far, it's I'm getting better. It wasn't one of those really bad cases where like I had to go to the ER or something, which I'm like really grateful for, because like I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone wants that to happen to them.
Yeah, no one wants that.
But
just that and tiredness.
Well, this is very weird now, because I was gonna transition into how, like, COVID-wise, things are getting better, but you just dropped that on me. So I don't really know how to give this information now, saying, look, guys, we're doing better, while you just told me that you tested positive. But anyways, rolling over.
Sorry about
transitioning. Obviously,
nice little segue.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I was gonna say things are getting better, but obviously our friend Cheyra here has tested positive for COVID. But just let me see. Let me pull out the facts here. So obviously this is the low. I think we're at the lowest positive rate we've been at since October. October, November here in San Diego.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're at 4% right now. A 4% positivity rate. And something else, or something big that has happened just in this past week, we have a new COVID vaccine from Johnson & Johnson that
hell yeah,
that just got released, which is
the family company.
The family company, yeah.
It's like Johnson & Johnson, a family company.
And the very interesting thing about Johnson & Johnson is that they have. Let me pull up the article real quick, because I believe that they have a. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now, but they have
That's all right.
a 0%. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my goodness. I swear I just saw it.
It's sneaky.
It slipped away from me. Anyways, let me see if
It's
I
like
can do this, if I can remember this from the top of my mind. But there, first of all, the Johnson & Johnson is only a single dose. So you won't
oh.
need to get one dose and then go back 2 weeks later and get your second dose. The Johnson & Johnson is just one single dose. It's that strong. And they are going to be able to supply 100 million doses by the end of May, which led Biden to say that by the end of May we will have enough vaccine for all the adults in the United States.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that obviously,
That's good to hear.
it's very good to hear. And I think by the end of July, there should be enough doses for everyone in the U.S.
Hell yeah.
But another intriguing thing about this vaccine is I really can't find it. But if I can remember off the top of my head, there has been no reports of anyone being hospitalized after getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So it's...
Oh, okay.
So your base... I don't want to say guaranteed, because obviously they only did that through the trial version of their vaccine.
Yeah.
But there is a 0% chance of you needing to go back to the hospital. I really can't find it. I'm so disappointed.
It'll come up. Like, once we're done, I bet it's gonna, like, pop
Honestly,
up, like,
yeah.
hey, I'm here.
Okay,
Either way, that's, like, really good.
Yeah, so by the end of May, enough vaccines for all the adults. By the end of July, enough vaccines for everyone in the U.S., and there is a 0% chance of being hospitalized from COVID with this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is really good. Really good. And
yeah,
another thing, because a lot happened just the first day of March, and that it made me want to have the podcast that day, because I just wanted to just get everything out. But another thing that happened on the first day of March was the approval for $6.6 billion. Yeah, $6.6 billion was set aside for school districts to reopen. And that's kind of...
Oh.
That's what's bringing up the date for us to go back, and the whole 10%. And
yeah.
So, but I think our district is aiming for April 13th. I think that's our April 12th. Our aim date is to go back April 12th. And so that's why it was interesting that you brought up the funding to sanitize everything and to, keep our school spick and span. I don't know what the word or what the phrase is, but just clean, sanitized.
Yeah.
So I believe it's $2.6 billion is for sanitations for all the districts in California, and then $4 billion is set aside for those who are behind or just need extra help after school to get caught up with all the work that they're behind in, which is really nice. And like I said, I know I'm a bit everywhere right now. My mind's everywhere, but the date is April 12th, but I think it's because the governor wants all the school districts to come back before March 31st. And so every day after March 31st, the district will lose 1% of its funding that it's originally supposed to get. So,
oh, shoot.
Yeah, so the Sweetwater district, and this is all public news, so I'm pretty sure this is fine to say, because it's all public news. But the Sweetwater district has said that it is reconsidering the date for us to come back. Whether it's later or earlier, they just said that they're reconsidering the date to go back. So, with all that being said, And also, one little fact that I left out. Where is it? Oh yeah, 21.3% of San Diego County has been vaccinated with one dose, and 10% of San Diego County has been fully vaccinated with both doses. And that comes out to a total of 272,377 people. And this was on Tuesday, so it probably went up a couple 10,000s just from the first day. And where is it? I believe the ICUs, the hospitalizations and the ICU capacities for COVID, they have drastically gone down this last week and month. So COVID, which I'm very confused on how they worded it in this article. I'm getting all this information from San Diego 7. But I'm confused on how they worded it, because it says here that there's a 64% decrease in COVID-19 hospitalization in the last 30 days, and then a 20% decrease in COVID-19 hospitalizations the last week. But then it says in the very next sentence that patients with COVID-19 in the ICU has decreased 61% in the last month and 21% in the last week. So I don't want to. I guess you can say I'm a bit ignorant, because COVID-19, obviously ICUs is like the ER, I believe, where it's
I think so.
Very,
like a form of it, right?
Yeah, where it's when the patient has severe side effects or symptoms. That's the word. Severe symptoms of COVID-19. That's patients with COVID-19 in the ICU, and I think COVID-19 hospitalizations is just normal people with COVID. I'm very ignorant to the wording of it, so I don't.
Yeah, it is.
So if you guys know what that means, just
comment
down below what that means, because we
can they even comment?
Yeah, the comments are open on the podcast, but not on the.
Okay, because I know like some of the videos are like, oh, it's for kids. No comments.
Yeah, you can't comment. So with all that being said, numbers are drastically going down. And I know I don't want to say bias, but since you actually had experience with COVID, how do you feel about kids going back to school?
Well, I think it's pretty good, because there's also a percentage of like homeless youths that don't have like Wi-Fi access, really bad Wi-Fi access. Mm-hmm. Like my cousin, she has like horrible Wi-Fi, so sometimes she comes over here. Mm-hmm. And then students that are really struggling. So it's pretty good that they're able to come back and stuff like that. I just don't think that the normal population, the usual average student or whatever, would be coming back until like later.
Yeah. When
it's safer, because it's always, it's best to prioritize those who need it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's.
Yeah, because the Sweetwater's plan is to bring in, I think it's 10% every day, have some kids who are in desperate need, have them come in more often than those who, normies like us, who, or at least me, where I don't really have anything wrong. I have stable internet connection. Yeah. I have my own room to focus on my work. So for like example, those who don't have very strong internet connection, or they're having problems at home, whatever it may be, they might go back like 3 days, compared to me where I might only go back 1 day. At least that's how I perceived it in the article. So.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Reconnecting.
Hello. Welcome back.
Okay, yeah, your voice is a lot more clear on this one. And it's probably wasn't the ideal. I didn't even know my nephew was coming over today. So there's just more.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, there's just more internet being used right now. So I think that might be in play with the quality on here. But
yeah,
just trying to make it the best
Kick
start we
your
can.
nephew.
Kick my nephew out.
Kick him out. Kick him out. Let's don't do that.
No, yeah. Because obviously we are. Hold on. Like I said, we are coming around a year without doing distance learning, and
So weird.
I know, and a lot of
Time isn't real.
yeah, a lot of complaints that some students may have is that this is not the proper time to bring us back, and it's going to be very hard to adapt back into in-person learning. What's your view on that?
Like, I agree. I see what they're thinking. Because, like, if you think back to what we used to do every single day, get up at before 7, walk, drive, or, like, get dropped off, and then wait, and then go back to class. 2 hours later, go to lunch. Wait, no, not lunch. Nutrition, and then repeat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, like, at least personally, looking back at that, I just feel mentally and physically tired.
Yeah, I can understand.
Which might, yeah, and also like kind of like a wasted time.
Okay,
At least with the 2-hour classes, depending on the subject. Because if it's a subject where you could simply be like, okay, you could do this, this, this. Here's the work. That's it.
Yeah.
Like instead of waiting and doing busy work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it varies from student to student, class to class. Yeah. But personally, this seems tiring.
No, yeah, I can see where you're coming from because when I started at Sweetwater freshman year, I'm like, we have 2-hour classes, and it's just so tiring. And even with a majority of the classes that I took, the teacher doesn't do anything the last half an hour. We're just finishing.
Yeah.
We're just finishing up our work that was given at the beginning of the second hour. So, and I don't think that since only 10% is going back per day, I wouldn't think that the district would just throw us back into our regular 7:30 to what time do we? 7:30 to 2:38.
2:40.
Yeah, 2:40. I would
2:38 with it.
Potato time.
Yeah.
I would like to think that they wouldn't just throw us back into that schedule, because I said, there's another 90% of students that aren't on campus that are still doing distance learning. So why would you want to take away the 9 to 2:30 schedule?
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense at all.
Yeah, so I think the district is gonna ease us back into on campus learning, and I hope during this time they kind of evaluate our original schedule, the 7:30 to 2:30, because 2 hours, I personally don't think it's it
worth it.
Yeah, it's because why, like I said, teachers are ending their lessons early during the 2 hours, and usually some, not saying all of them, but there are some classes that I was in that she or he wouldn't lecture the last half an hour. We would just be doing work that we were given at the beginning of the hour. So
it's just like, just tell me what to do, give me the work, I'll do the rest.
Yeah. So what I envision for the kids that are going back into in-person learning, as well as the teachers, is that it's basically going to be the same schedule as distance learning, where the first 45 minutes is just lecturing, the teacher is going over what you're going to be doing, and then the last 45 minutes is just you doing your work. And for the people in person, the teacher is there for you to ask questions and blah, 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 blah. You get released to nutrition, and then the same 45 minutes for your other period, and as it goes on. That's what I would like to see for going back in person.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Rather than like 2 hours and then just other kids having 45 kind of seems
Yeah.
like unfair, you know?
Yeah. And teachers are also, because teachers are also saying that they are a bit worried on how it's going to work with having kids at home and then kids in person, because they're not going to know how to properly set up for both. But
Oh yeah.
one thing I would recommend is, because on TikTok, obviously, it's the teenagers' pastime during these times.
Yep.
On TikTok, I've seen teachers who already have people back in person, and then they have people online. So I'm not necessarily saying for these teachers to go on TikTok and find those teachers and be like, hey,
follow their example.
Follow their example.
Follow them.
I'm just saying, like, I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to say that there is a way to do it.
Yeah, that there's a form. It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible. So just be open-minded to the thought that yes, you can do it with kids online and with kids in person. So, anyways,
it's possible.
Yes, it is very possible. But obviously, we're all gonna need time to ease into back into in-person learning. But
yeah, regular scheduling.
Another thing with 1 year in lockdown, I love how we're just talking about COVID, but it's
it's nothing but COVID. It's all over.
COVID, but unfortunately, it's the world we live in right now. So, with 1 year of stay at home, because I really don't know what to call it, because we have the stay at home orders, and then the governor lifts, or the mayor, I don't know how it works, sorry, but the stay at home orders, no, I think it is the governor. The governor lifts the stay at home orders, and then there's another word, there's lockdown, and then there's quarantine, and then stuff opens and reopens. So I really don't know what to call it. But with
unpredictable, just the whole thing.
Stay at home. That's why I say stay at home with quotations, because it really isn't staying at home.
Yeah.
At least there are a majority of people who just don't stay at home. But those people with 1 year at stay at home, quarantine birthdays.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that because there are now going to be people very soon in, like, because last year, I believe it was March 13th. That was our last day before
the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
People are now going to be saying, because honestly, I didn't think I was going to have a quarantine birthday. I really
me neither.
Because my birthday's in October, and everything started in March. I'm like, we should be fine by October.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
We still have to stay at home order. We still had COVID, and I'm like, wow, I really just had a quarantine birthday, because I don't even know what I did for my birthday. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Everything's fuzzy. No one remembers anything.
I don't remember. I just remember going on my laptop, doing class, and that was kind of just my day, just doing work.
Great birthday.
It was a wonderful birthday. When was your birthday?
June 5th.
June 5th.
So it was like...
You were a lot earlier than me.
Yeah.
Because now people...
I still had high hopes.
Because people are now going to have their second quarantine birthday starting very soon. And I feel really bad for those people. So, I know I just talked about my experience, how my birthday was. What was your experience with having a quarantine birthday? If you can remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I can remember. Everything's so blended in. We didn't have school by then, right?
Yeah, I think it was either our last day or we were already on break.
Yeah, because... Did I go any? I don't know. I don't remember.
It was very early on, because you said yours was June 5th. That was...
Yeah.
3 months. And so...
Yeah, not that far.
I would like to think that things were still closed down. Because honestly, I just... before I had my quarantine birthday, I just felt bad for everyone. I'm like, damn, that
Yes,
they're not
sir.
gonna have a
Just stay
they're
inside,
not
get a
having a
cake.
proper birthday. I know it's one birthday out of many birthdays, but still, it's a birthday. You're celebrating
Yeah.
one more year on this planet Earth. But
Yeah, you waited a whole year.
you made it a whole another year, and I was just looking at him like, damn, I feel so bad for them. And then my birthday got closer and closer. And
Oh
closer.
no!
I'm
Oh
like,
no! Oh
my
no!
god, not me, please, not me. And then,
Anyone else?
and then it happened to me. I'm like, oh my god, I don't believe this. It's ridiculous because some of us have annual, not an, why am I saying, we have birthday traditions. Like me,
Yeah.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm bragging, but now it might seem like I'm bragging now. But anyways, every year I go to Disneyland for my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's my parents, they save up the entire year, like the day after we went to Disneyland, they just start saving for the next year.
Oh shoot!
Yeah. And so it was sad to me because that, obviously I know I'm very fortunate to go every year, but it was still sad in the end because I'm like, wow, I think it was the first year I didn't go to Disneyland for my birthday.
Yeah.
And so
Which is normal to be sad about.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, obviously I know I'm fortunate, but it was still a feeling I had. I'm pretty sure we just stayed. I think restrictions were a bit eased during my birthday, so we may have gone out to eat. But that,
okay.
yeah, I think my dad took me out for my birthday breakfast, and then my entire family came along for dinner.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So do you have, like, I know that you don't remember this previous birthday that you had in quarantine, but for all your other birthdays, did you have something that you did each year for your birthday and you just couldn't do it this year? Or were you still, or if you did have something, were you still able to do it?
Well, for my birthday, we don't really have a tradition. Sometimes I even forget my own birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, like this one time I just woke up and my mom's friend walked in. This was like years ago, before COVID, before everything.
Yeah.
And then my mom's friend's daughter walked in. She's like, "Oh, yo, happy birthday!" And I'm like,
Wait, what?
"It's my birthday?" I'm like, "Oh my god, it's my birthday!" But yeah, no traditions in that sense.
Now that you bring that up, that might have been me this past birthday, because there was nothing to look forward to, and I just woke up to just a bunch of messages like, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. And
yeah, everything's so blended together.
And even still to this day, I still have to think about my age. I'm like, am I 16 or 17? Like, I forget my own age sometimes. I'm like, oh wait, I'm 17 now, and it's been
it's trippy.
It's been like 5 months already. I'm like, I still feel like I'm 16.
It happens. Just you're 13 secretly.
I'm 13.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm 9 years old. I've been lying this whole time.
It's all a lie. She's just very advanced. Her brain is very advanced, and that's why she's in high school early.
Thank you. You know, I forget my birthday, but I don't forget the multiplication tables.
Another very common question: what is the very first thing you're gonna do after all restrictions are lifted?
Ooh, like COVID is 0% gone, kind of close.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think COVID will ever be gone. I think it'll be just like the flu now. But
Oh,
let's just say,
yeah, true.
let's say that COVID is now on the level of a cold or a
The flu?
Yeah,
Oh,
and all
okay.
restrictions are lifted. There's vaccines for days now, for months, for years.
Oh,
What is the first thing that you are doing with no restrictions at all?
well, what I've really wanted to do lately is learn how to surf.
Oh,
So I think I'll just like go straight to the beach. I've also been craving a little what's that bakery You know the bakery that's near IHOP? 60 something degrees?
Oh, is it like 35, 30, 70,
35?
75, 35?
Celsius degrees? Some number, you know?
So, what's some number? 70?
You know, is it one too? So I've been craving, like, I wanted to go there, try one of the bakeries, I mean the pastries, especially this one that's like a rolled up piece of, hello.
We have a new guest. We have a new guest entering the podcast. My nephew, Adrian.
Is that your nephew?
Yeah, this is
Aww.
my nephew, Adrian. That is taking up all the Wi-Fi. I don't think he knows. He's a bit camera shy.
Yeah, he's a little tiny baby.
A little tiny.
Hello.
He is 4 years old. And
okay.
Are you destroying my room? He likes soccer. And
okay, that's pretty cool.
And wrestling. And baseball. And what else do you like, Adrian?
All the physical.
Football. He also likes football.
Oh, nice.
Athletic kid in the making.
Hella. Next Olympian? Question mark.
Potential future Red Devil since he lives in National City. So.
Oh, okay. Varsity. Freshman
soccer.
Year, varsity. Varsity everything. Just every single sport.
Varsity football, varsity soccer, varsity baseball. He's gonna be able to do things
varsity
that I
swim.
can't do in baseball.
High hopes.
Would you like to say anything to the audience, Adrian? No? Alright. Well,
a little shy.
That's all we have from Adrian.
That seems good.
Adrian, give me 15 more minutes and then you can come back in here. What do you mean no? I will pick you up and get you out, sir.
No. Oh no, run, Adrian, run.
No. I need to take my headphones off.
Bye, Adrian.
No. Go with grandma. Go with grandma and grandpa. Oh my gosh. Adrian, stop. Adrian, no, seriously, stop. Seriously.
I want to be in here.
Huh?
I want to be in
Well,
here.
give me 15 more minutes.
No.
Give me 15 more minutes, Adrian.
Why?
Because I'm doing something for school.
You're talking to your friend?
Yeah, for school.
Okay.
Aloha, welcome back.
You gotta love kids.
Kids, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Don't recommend. No,
oh my god. I don't know. Is that appropriate to talk about on the podcast?
Kids?
Having kids? Not like the process. Not like the process.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like, not. I guess kids in general.
Because one interesting thing this generation, and even with the millennials, is. Has he come in again? Oh my gosh.
He's slowly opening the door.
Adrian, leave. Leave now.
No.
I said give me Ma!
He's a little rebel.
He's a little rebel.
Good luck.
Just give me 15 more minutes, Adrian. The longer you interrupt, the longer it's going to be for you to come back in here. Alrighty.
Hey, Lur, welcome back.
Okay, so what I was going to say is that this generation and even the millennials, there are a lot more people that just don't want to have kids.
Oh, yeah.
Why? I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to be in the future if not so many people are going to have kids. Because our current population is like, well, yeah, our current 7.8 billion in the world.
Isn't it trillion?
No. I don't think we're at the trillions yet.
Wait, how much is a trillion?
It goes million, billion, trillion.
Oh, okay, never mind. Not trillion.
Yeah, so
that would be horrible.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible for like food supply and just any kind of other supply.
Anything in general, you know.
But Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how it's gonna be like in the future, if our population is
Yeah.
gonna drastically go down, or if it's only kind of a US type thing where just everyone in the US is like, I don't want kids.
Maybe. Personally, I'm not that concerned because it's kind of normal to like have a population that's kind of dwindling, but then it eventually goes up.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what happened in China, at least from like what I've heard in like either random videos which I see, which to be honest might not be a reliable source, but it was like the whole one child policy thing. Like,
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
mistake because eventually it was gonna go back to normal.
Yeah.
Because they panicked. They're like, oh my god, too many kids, too
Yeah.
many people. But they did that, and now you have the consequence of single children having to support a whole entire family.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I can
Like,
see that.
yeah, I think it just go back to normal or something.
Yeah, 'cause I think there's a movie on Netflix called What Happened to Monday.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it eventually, but it kind of has the same theme of a futuristic world in where everyone's only allowed to have one child, but this family secretly has like 6 twins.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the frick?
It's just like not 6 sets of twins. Was it because
It's quadruplets, right?
I think that's only
6
4. Six
Six-
triplets. I don't know.
Wasn't it 4? 4 people, or
Was
was
it
it
4?
6?
Well,
I think it's 4.
For the
no?
sake of me being able to say the word, I think it's 4.
Quadruplets.
It's quadruplets, and they all pretend to take on only one identity since they're not allowed to have more than one child.
Yeah.
Maybe if I ever have you, it's more likely that I'm gonna have you back on the podcast sometime.
Hell yeah.
So maybe during that time we can both watch it and kind of talk about it again, because it's it's very interesting to think about. Because my mindset when it comes to having kids, I feel like I'm ending a legacy. I'm ending a family.
I see.
I'm ending a family bloodline when it comes to me, because I have sisters and brothers, but they're my half. They're my half.
Oh, okay.
They're my half brothers and sisters. So they don't have the same last name as me. So I'm an only child, and I'm kind of the only one to continue the family bloodline. Now, whether it's my child or my grandchild that decides to not want kids, then that's on them. But me personally, I just don't want to end the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of
generations upon generations.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one to end it. I don't want them to look from above and be like, "Oh, so you're the one that ended our bloodline." Like,
it's like, Eric, man, I've been waiting your whole lifetime for this.
I just don't want that to be me. So, and I don't know if it's too personal of a question for me to ask you, but what's your mindset on that, on you having children?
Oh, okay. And don't worry about the questions you asked me. I'm willing to answer any and all.
Yeah.
Anyway, just ask me any question you want. For this question, for me, I think I'll either have one kid that's like biologically mine, or just adopt the whole thing. Because that's another thing. Like, I'm not so worried about the population dwindling, because there's always people that accidentally and then end up giving away their kid. So there's a bunch of kids in foster care, and the foster system isn't even that good. At least from like what I've seen, there's some really bad cases. So I kind of want to get some kids from there and give them a chance at a better life. Yeah, and my bloodline, pretty sure it'll be okay, because my brother, I think he'll take the responsibility.
He'll be the one that separates the rest of our bloodline. No, but I think adopting is still a cool thing, and in my eyes, I still believe that's continue your bloodline, even though they're not blood, because they'll still have,
Oh, yeah.
like, you'll still teach them, you'll still instill the same morals and values that you have.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I agree.
even though
Yeah.
that's not you blood wise, it's
Yeah,
still
directly blood. It's still
yeah
philosophy wise.
Philosophy.
More
Philosophic.
Question.
I don't know.
Philosophic.
Not yet, because I want. My entire life, I've said that I've wanted to, and I think I'm gonna stick to that because.
Oh, a little team
Yeah,
duo.
a little team. Preferably one to be at least, because I don't want it to be like me with my youngest sister, because I think our age difference is like 9 years. Like I don't want it to
dang.
be like that. I want it
Yeah.
to be like one, at the most 2 years, because
Oh,
want
okay.
them to still be the same generation, have go through the same things together.
Oh, okay. Kind of like my siblings. We're only like 2-3 years
Yeah,
apart.
like, I want both of them to help each other when they feel like, even though they shouldn't. I don't know, because it's weird. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because me now, like, I understand how it is to be a teen, and obviously so do my parents.
Yeah.
But as we get older, do we kind of forget how it is?
I guess so, yeah, because I remember in AP Psych, there would rosy perspectives. I don't know, but you look back at life in rose-colored glasses. Basically, you mainly remember the good parts. So you still remember some bad parts of being a teen, but it's mainly the good stuff. So our parents, not that they're not a reliable source, because they still have like a bunch of life lessons and stuff like that, but it's not 100% accurate. You know?
Yeah, and it also brings up the question of that they're also a different generation.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that too.
My
Different
parents are Gen X,
beliefs.
I'm Gen Z. So they're like, even though some of the stories that they tell me still apply to today and still very useful, there are other stories and morals that they had back then that don't quite translate to today. So
Yeah.
it brings up the idea that when we have our kids, it's gonna be 2 generations down. Not everything, but there might be
Some big differences.
some big differences in the teenage life. So even like it's the stereotypical thing to say, like, oh, you don't understand how it's like to be a teenager, dad, or like something like that.
It's not a phase, Mom.
It's not a phase, Mom. And so that's our mindset now. But then when we're older, we're gonna become our parents, and our kids are gonna become us, telling us that we don't know how it's like to be a teenager. And so
Yeah, the full circle. Full circle moment.
Full circle. So even though
Be nice to your kids. To your parents.
Yeah, be nice to your parents, because you're gonna become them one day.
Scary.
No, I think just keep in mind that when you have your child or your kid, that it's gonna be a generation or two down the line and things will be different, and now you're gonna know how your parents felt when you said that to them.
I'm ready for all the phases, or it's not a phase.
It's not a phase.
Not a phase. I'm British now.
I'm
It's not a
British.
phase.
I'm
What we don't understand.
I'm intrigued, because is there gonna be the same phases that we had, like the emo? Because I don't think, was there like an emo phase in our parents' time? I'd like to think there wasn't.
I think I'm trying to think, because my dad grew up in because both of my parents, they grew up in kind of like not that great situations or environments. Like my dad lived in like what you would call the hood of LA or stuff like that, like bad parts. My mom grew up in like a rancho in the middle of land or somewhere like really far away. So I don't think they really had a chance to have like emo phases or something.
Yeah,
I think the most is really
they had other problems on their plate. So
yeah. My mom's getting chased by snakes. My dad's like finding food or stuff. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they have time for that.
Yeah, that's also that's also another thing we have to take into consideration, and I think it helps our case when we say that they don't understand us, because like most of us who go to Sweetwater, we obviously have parents who aren't originally from here, and they
Yeah.
had a complete different lifestyle and different upbringing. So yeah, I guess you could say that you don't understand how it's like to be a teen, but you don't know how it's like to be a teen here in the United States.
Hmm.
Because,
Yeah.
and so I guess because my dad, in my situation, he was born in TJ, but he was raised up here. And my
okay.
mom was the same as your mom. She was born and raised in a rancho. So I guess somewhat, at least in our area, we are kind of growing up as, what's the proper term? Like first generation?
I guess like first generation American born.
American born.
Mexican American.
So yeah, I guess we can say that our parents don't fully understand what it's like to be a teenager in this time, but
Yeah.
they still do have some very useful information from their upbringing.
Yeah, basically. Also, I guess a bit more insightful, depending, because like, at least from what my parents grew up, they were like in intense situations. So at least I'm not being raised in such intense situations,
Yeah.
so they know how to handle one thing while I'm like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah. And it's always like the memes of where, have you seen the memes where it's like how my parents told me how they got to school, and like, because it's so true. My dad's like, I had to take 30 buses. Each of them took an hour. I had to wake up at 2:30 in the morning. Obviously, exaggerating.
I had to go skydiving.
I had to go skydiving, take a plane, an hour and a half from here.
Fight some tigers, you know.
Beat up the people who wanted my lunch money. Obviously, that's all exaggerated, but it's just funny to think about how we all had similar experiences when it comes to that.
Yeah, same with the moms looking at the memes, like they grab your phone and like it's like, ¿Quién es? I don't know, mom. It's just a joke.
I know, it's just so like all of our parents are so different, but similar in a way.
Yeah, I guess like with every generation they have their own thing. Kind of like this generation, at least from like memes I've seen, like I don't know, we're more proactive or whatever, but then we have social anxiety. Too nervous to talk back to our parents or too nervous to order a coffee.
Yeah, where it's like, I will stand in front of this policeman and I will die for someone else, but when it comes to asking for extra ketchup at McDonald's, we won't do it.
Oh no, too nervous. No.
I cannot do that.
I draw the line at ketchup.
Anyways,
it's crazy.
That's gonna be the end of our podcast.
Oh wait,
I think we're speaking of the devil podcast.
Speaking of the devil, it took an hour, but here.
That's gonna be it. Thank you, Cheyra, for coming on. Hopefully,
thank you for having me.
Hopefully, I can have you in the near future, because we're in March. We have only 3 months of school left, which is which is only like
that's trippy.
12 episodes of this podcast left. So maybe within those 12 episodes we can have you back. We can.
That'd be an honor.
And especially since it's gonna be closer to the end of the year, we'll have much more emotional and intense topics concerning.
Oh, true.
And maybe
growing up.
Maybe we'll be back in school when we have.
Oh yeah, maybe. I can show you the tricks my therapist taught me about growing up.
Oh yeah. That's gonna lead into a completely different topic, but we'll end it right there. Thank you for coming on once again, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Goodbye.